Hello and welcome to the fifth part, week number 5 of our 8-week practice to reboot, reset, and restructure from the ground up. And my name is Anja. Today I am taking you through a practice for the throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra, which is about expressing our truth. It sits between the heart and the mind, and therefore is responsible for expressing both. At the same time, it is also connected to our creative force, the seat of our creativity. So it's the expression of that, and also the soul correspondence of the sacral, the sex center. So opening the jaw also releases the hips and vice versa. You may have already felt that during your practice or in other areas of your life. So we will start by lying on our backs. So make yourself comfortable. And Vishuddha in Sanskrit means purity, related to the color turquoise and also to the gemstone. So just find a comfortable posture on your back, have some space under your arms, feet rolling out to the sides, very much like finishing in Shavasana. Just take a moment here to arrive and to feel the floor underneath you. And scan the body for tension. And wherever you may feel tension in the body, take a deep inhale and an exhale through the mouth. Do that 3 times in total. And do the same for emotional tension. Wherever you hold it in the body, breathe into it. And an exhale. And then take 3 deep in and exhales all the way down into the pelvis. Letting go of any mental constructs, any intellectual discourse. And close your mouth and let the breath come in and out through the nose. Without changing, without judging the natural flow of breath. And as the throat chakra is also connected to Udana, the upward moving energy of spring, of expansion or lack of expansion, contraction, we will focus on feeling that upward moving breath. So start to deepen your breathing, and on your inhale, bring the breath up from the pelvis all the way up to the crown of the head. And on the exhale, let it flow back down. And at the end of the exhale, really try to locate behind your pubic bone the connection to the sacral center. And gently pull the belly, the navel against the spine, and the pelvis in and up. Release that, let the breath flow up on your inhale. And then down on your exhale. And you can gently constrict the throat and practice ujjayi breath. Which also stimulates udana, the thyroid gland and the throat chakra, which are all connected. Really use the inhale to take a new energy to expand, like we do in spring, like nature does, everything does in the northern hemisphere. It is the time of year for expansion and udana. And on every exhale, let go of everything you don't need right now that prevents you from being here. 3 more deep in and exhales, washing the body with your breathing. Or like a gentle wind or breeze moving through your system. As the throat chakra is also connected to the element of air. On your next inhale, stretch your arms out behind you, flex the feet. And an exhale, bring the arms down, relaxing the feet out to the sides. Just repeat 2 more times. Inhale. Practice gentle ujjayi breath. And then exhale, bringing the arms down, relaxing the feet out to the sides. And then 1 more time, inhale. Now interlace the fingers behind you, above your head, arms resting on the floor. Push the palms away from you, flex the feet, and connect the lower back to the floor, breathing deeply. Anchoring your exhale in the pelvis. And feeling the slight constriction in the throat. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, bring the arms down and place the feet onto the mat in front of you. Sitting bone distance apart, bring the arms out to the sides. And on the next exhale, you let the knees go to the right, the head over to the left. Bend the elbows slightly. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, bring the knees and head back to center. And then, like water, going over to the other side. And then you just move from side to side with your breath. Seeing if you can keep your shoulders connected to the ground and also have the ribs on the side opposite to the knees. Move towards the ground, melt into your back. And then slowly come back to center. Just take a moment to move the knees into the chest, breathing deeply. Letting the lower back relax. Anchoring the exhale in the pelvis. Gently pulling the navel and the pelvic floor in and up at the end of the exhale. Stretching your left leg out, keeping the right knee in the chest. Inhale here, exhale, bring the forehead to the knee and breathe deeply. Relaxing the shoulders. And then extend the bent leg towards the ceiling, bring the arms front. And again, feel a slight constriction in the throat area. And bring the head down, bring the arms down, and slowly, slowly moving the leg down. Really keeping the lower back connected to the floor. And then as the leg touches the floor, just relaxing the legs, the feet out, and then moving your hips from left to right and releasing the jaw. Go with your tongue along your teeth. Opening the jaw. And then bring the left knee into your chest, flexing the right foot. Deep in and exhale. Bring your forehead to your knee. Relaxing the shoulders. And then extend that bent leg. Flex the foot. Extend the arms. Breathe deeply. Feel a slight constriction in the thyroid, in the throat chakra. Stimulation of the gland and the energy center. Bring the hands on the ground, slowly moving the head to the floor and then the leg, last but not least. And then let the feet roll out to the sides. And again, gently moving, shaking the hips, the pelvis, and opening the jaw. And place the feet onto the mat in front of you. And we're going to do a shoulder bridge with arm and head variations. So really feel both arms, both feet in the ground. Really connect to the hands, feet, forearms, like the shoulders are underneath you a little bit. And we're just going to practice 2 simple shoulder bridges, rolling the lower, middle, upper back up, coming slightly onto the shoulder blades on the inhale, and rolling the upper, middle, lower back down onto the ground. And we do it one more time. Breathing up on our inhale, Udana, upward moving breath. And an exhale, Apana, downward moving breath. So now we're going to take the arm and head with us on our inhale as we move into shoulder bridge. Bring the right arm behind your head and roll your head over to the left. Deep inhale. On the exhale, you keep your head on the left, and you bring the arm and your back pelvis down onto the ground. And once they touch the floor, you pull the right shoulder away from your ear. Then inhale, bring the left arm back, roll the head back to center as you come up into a shoulder bridge. And then on the exhale, bring the left arm and the back down, and your head rolls over to the right. And then on your next inhale, you bring the right arm up behind your head, head moving back to center. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, you bring the right arm down, head goes over to the left, and the back slowly moves back down onto the ground, and you move the right shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, we continue, left arm comes up, head goes back to center, coming into the shoulder bridge. And as we exhale, head moves to the right, left arm comes down, and the back rolls down onto the ground. And once the pelvis is down, pull the left shoulder away from the ear. This is a practice I learned from Rod Straker. Inhale, the right arm up, head back to center, coming into shoulder bridge. And as you exhale, bring the right arm down and roll the head over to the left. Bring the back all the way down onto the floor. Move the right shoulder away from the ear. And then you keep that head and feel it very heavy on the left. And then you slowly roll the head to the other side, opening the jaw, releasing the teeth and the jaw. Imagining that the head is very heavy. And then you slowly bring it back to center. And then you can either roll up over the side, or you just rock back and forth a few times, chin towards the chest. And one more time, and then you come into a comfortable seated posture. Yeah, and on your inhale, you bring your arms up. Again, feeling the throat, constriction in the throat, and exhale, ujjayi, as you bring the arms down. And inhale, bringing the arms up. And exhaling your arms down. Interlacing your thumbs, index fingers come together. The index fingers are also connected to the pranic field of Udana and to the throat chakra, connected to the large intestine. On your inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. And once again, inhale, bring your arms up, thumbs interlaced, index fingers touching. Exhale, bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra. And one last time, inhale, bringing the arms up. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Take a deep exhale. And inhale for 3 rounds of Om. Bowing your head to your heart, set an intention connected to the expression of truth, of creativity, connection between heart and mind. And then bring that into the body with your breath. And rub your hands together. And then cupping your eyes with your palms, keeping the eyes closed. Take a few deep in and exhale. And then bringing your hands down. And as a reminder again, just massaging that point between the thumb and the index finger here, which is very, very, very important point on the large intestine channel. And this is also a space we usually try to open during the yoga practice. And just as a gentle reminder, also the connection to the index finger, the second finger, and the second toe. Just connected to stomach alongside the large intestine, which I mentioned, and then the thumb representing the lung, which is a pair together with the large intestine in traditional Chinese medicine. And then we use our hands to massage the neck, so we just slide them here into throat, neck area, gently massaging with our palms. Kind of semicircular movement, just whatever feels good. Now removing any tension from that area. Moving up the neck a little bit and along the occiput. Down behind the ears, and again, throat area, gentle massage along the collarbones, just stimulating that whole area. And then we find a block, if you have one, to sit on. Otherwise, you can sit on your heels. If that doesn't work for you, slide a blanket between your knees, or sit on a bolster so you're higher up if that doesn't work for your knees at all. And please feel free to sit cross-legged. We're going to do some shoulder stretches here. Very simple. Interlace your fingers. Inhale. Exhale, bring your arms up. And as we inhale, we bend the elbows a little bit, and exhale, bring the front, upper and lower ribs in, so you can breathe deeply in the diaphragm. Connect the sitting bones to the ground. Keep your gaze straight ahead of yourself. Finding your gentle Ujjayi breath. And see if you can actually grab the block with the insides of your feet, stimulating also the connection to the pelvic floor, pulling the pelvis in and up, pelvic floor in and up. At the end of the exhale. And then bring the arms behind you, interlace the fingers the other way around, so the other pinky's front, and then again pulling the hands down, opening the front of the chest, the shoulder area, breathing deeply, looking up slightly, gentle stimulation of the thyroid. And then bring in your chin to your chest and Move your arms up a little bit and keep breathing deeply into the shoulders. And slowly bring them back down. And rolling the shoulders a few times. Back to the ears and back and down, front up and back and down. And then changing directions. Back up and front and down. Deep breaths. And pulling your shoulders up. And then release them on your exhale again, pulling them up. And release them. One more time, pulling them up. And release them. And come off the block into a tabletop position. Open the fingers wide, especially between the thumb and the index finger, really pushing down onto the ground. And then on the inhale, we arch the back from the tailbone to the crown, paying attention to the throat area. And the exhale, we start with the tailbone again, rounding the back. Bringing the chin towards the chest, feeling the stimulation of the throat. Deepen and exhales as you practice this at your own speed. And then start to move the hips. So we're going to start in a clockwise rotation. We stay on the hands and knees and just rotating the hips and breathing deeply into the hip joints, into the pelvis, creating movement here, also in the wrists, bringing energy everywhere with our breath. And then change direction, anti-clockwise now. Also moving the hips, if you like, you can move the head a little bit. Breathe into the shoulders. And come back to center, and we're going to come into quarter dog. So make sure the seat stays above your knees. Come onto your forearms. Stretch out the right arm all the way as far as you can. Bring the left elbow in line with the right one. Slide the left hand on the right elbow and then place your forehead on the ground wherever it touches. And then really pull the belly against the spine and ground your shins to protect the lower back. Breathing deeply into your large intestine. Again, feeling the slight constriction of the throat, gentle ujjayi breath. Feel the connection between the thumb and index finger, ground that space between them. Slowly come up onto the forearms and then changing sides, sliding your right hand under your left elbow and keeping both elbows in line with each other. Place the forehead on the ground and breathe deeply. Opening up the space between the thumb and index finger, grounding it, grounding the shins, pulling the belly slightly in. And then coming back up on all fours. And we're tucking the toes under, bringing the seat to the heels, stretching out. Long arms, stay like that. And then round the back, look towards the belly button. Come up on all fours with a round back. And then straighten the legs for downward facing dog. Walk on the spot. Bending one knee, bringing the other heel to the ground. You can again relax the head a little bit. And then slowly walking to the front of the mat. Grabbing your elbows from below. And letting go of your head. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Gentle ujjayi. Move the weight towards the front of the feet, lifting your sitting bones, pulling your belly slightly in. Releasing the head even more, releasing the jaw, opening the jaw. And then let go of the arms, shake off the arms, hands, shoulders, everything, shake it out. Pucker your lips and 3 times. Letting go of tension in the jaw. And then slowly roll up, tailbone down, 1 vertebra at a time. Breathing deeply. Bringing your arms up on your inhale. And your hands in front of your heart on your exhale. And deep inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, half forward bend. Ground your hands, frame the right foot, step the left foot back. Feet hip width distance, left knee on the ground. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bring the arms back, like really circling your arms, opening shoulders, opening the throat. And then bringing the hands to the lower back, bring the lower back down and really opening the upper chest and the throat area, breathing deeply. Bringing the elbows as close as possible. And exhale, bring the hands down, slide the knee back a little bit, and then bring the toes up. You can place your hands on 2 blocks if you like. Inhale, level the hips. Maybe you need to pull the right hip back a little bit. And then exhale, coming into forward fold. And releasing the head, breathing gently. Also breathing here into the back, into the neck, the biggest vertebra in the neck. And then inhale, bend the front knee, lift the heart. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. And come into your plank position, moving your shoulders above your wrists. And then knees, chest, and chin. And then now really pull out the feet out of the groins, grounding the legs, roll the shoulders front, back, down, and lift from the heart, breathing into the throat. And feel expansion in the spine, between the vertebrae. Bring your arms back. And then again, just grounding the hands, feeling the space between the thumb and index finger. And then place the forehead on the ground. Breathe into the neck. Slide the hands under your shoulders. Come on all fours. Tuck your toes under. Seat to your heels. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. Bring your left leg up on your inhale. Bring your left leg towards your left hand on your exhale. Right knee down. Feet hip width distance. Inhale, bring your arms up. Again, big circles with the arms, opening the shoulders. And on the third one, bring your hands to the lower back, grounding from the tailbone, opening the throat area, chest, upper chest, the lungs, breathing deeply. Giving the breath more strength. So you can move into the furthest corners of your lungs. And releasing the arms, bring them down, and then sliding your right knee back, bringing the left toes up, leveling the hips, inhale deeply, and exhale, coming into forward fold, relaxing the big vertebra in the neck, the whole neck area, breathing into it. And slowly coming front, lifting the heart. Inhale here. Tuck your back foot under and exhale, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half forward bend, bend the knees, hands on the sides of the shins, lift the heart. Exhale, bring the chin in, forward folding. Come all the way up on your inhale, feel your index fingers and thumbs. And then exhale, hands in front of the heart. Again, interlace the thumbs, bring the index fingers together. Inhale, straighten the front of the body. Stay here for a couple of breaths, breathing deeply. Yeah, so really keep the lower back straight. Open the groins, open the pelvis, open the throat, and then exhale. Interlace the hands behind your back. Interlacing, like unlocking the elbows, bending the knees as much as you need to. Again, breathe into the back of the neck, into the big vertebra there. And extend your exhale. By that, your shoulders will open more. Bring your arms down to your shins. Deep inhale. And exhale, step your left leg back. Bring your left knee on the ground. And then bringing your arms up. Inhale here. And then exhale. Bring the right arm down. And stretching over to the right. And you can actually use a block under your right hand. And coming here into that arch. Breathing deeply. Into the throat, into the neck. Bring the shoulders down. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale. Tuck your back foot under. Bring the front leg up. Open the hips for a moment. You can circle that foot up here in both directions. And bend that knee so the knee is the highest point. The right foot goes to the left buttocks. Inhale, straighten that leg again. Exhale, bring it onto the floor. And coming into plank. And then knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, coming into a small cobra. Then bringing the arms back, rooting your hands on the ground, lifting the legs a little bit for a version of Shalabhasana. Again, breathing into the throat and neck. And then exhale, bringing the forehead down. Breathe into the neck, slide the hands under the shoulders. Come up on all fours. Tuck your toes under, seat to the heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. And bring your left leg up. And then open the hips for a moment. And again, circle the foot here, both directions. Breathing deeply. Then let the foot fall over to the opposite buttocks. Knee is the highest point. Breathing deeply. And then exhale, bring the left foot front. And the right knee on the ground. And then just coming up on your inhale. And use a block on the other side. So bringing your left hand down. And then stretching, arching over to the left. Breathe deeply, let go of your head. Relax the head. And then inhale, come back to center. Bringing the blocks front. Tuck your back foot under, step the right foot toward the left, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. And exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And once again, deep inhale. And deep exhale. Inhale, half forward bend. And then step your left foot back. And left knee on the ground again. And then bring your arms up. And circle them down. Step the right foot front quite a lot. So you have a good stretch in the left groin. Breathe deeply here. Bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot and step the right foot out a little bit. Just deep in an exhale, feeling again the throat, opening the groin. Breathing into the neck as well. Then ground your hands, tuck your left foot under, bring your right leg up, inhale, bend the right knee, and then slowly, if you can, place that right foot onto the floor behind you. And if you can, come into a variation of what is called half bridge or wild thing. And here you can support your neck by holding your head. Breathe deeply. You can also slide your left leg out, so it's just a more gentle back bend. Breathing deeply. And then slowly turn that left foot back. Bring the right foot up and the right foot back onto the ground. And you can come into plank position, rolling over the feet into upward dog. You can also alternatively, come into chaturanga and then upward dog. And again, stretching the front of the body, especially in the throat, heart area, back of your neck. And then you can either place your knee on the ground, pause for a moment, breathe deeply, maybe rounding the back for a moment. Or you can roll into downward facing dog over your feet and come back into downward facing dog. Bring your left leg up, inhale, open the hip, bring the left foot over to the right buttocks and then towards the floor. And you can keep that right leg straight, left leg bent, and then support your head again, opening your heart towards the sky, breathing into the throat and neck, and really giving you that support here. A suggestion from Amy Peterson, who I practiced with in Sydney and enjoyed very much learning from. Deep inhale here, and an exhale, bring the left hand back onto the ground, lift the left leg up, leg hand, leg left, and bring both feet next to each other again. Deep breathing, and inhale once again, left leg up, and then exhale, the right knee down, left leg front, coming up on your inhale. Bring the arms down, and then sliding the right knee back, opening the groins here. Bringing the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Breathing deeply into the hips, into the pelvis, into the groins, into the throat. Then tuck your back foot under on your inhale. Bring the foot between your hands and stepping into a forward fold. Deep inhale here. And then exhale, you can bring your index and middle finger between the big toe and the second toe and the thumb from the outsides. Yogic toe lock. If you can't do that, you can also just reach for your ankles or shin, depending on your flexibility, and coming here into forward fold. Shift the weight onto the fronts of the feet. Really see if you can engage the muscles above the knees. Pull the sitting bones up, belly in, and let the head relax in the forward fold, Uttanasana. And letting the shoulders relax. Even though you're pulling yourself down, see if you can keep the shoulders relaxed. Inhale, half forward bend, releasing. And then exhale, full forward bend. And then bring your feet together and the toes apart and just coming into frog position. Bring the hands in front of our heart, breathing deeply. And again, connecting to the pelvic floor. The end of your exhale, pulling it in and up. Balancing here for a moment. And then slowly bring your hands onto the ground and just sit back. And then come to the front of the mat. Straighten the legs for Paschimottanasana. You can actually sit on a blanket, pulling the flesh away from the sitting bones. Bring your arms up on your inhale. If you're not very flexible, you can also bring the blocks under the knees. And then place your hands on the ground. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, coming into forward fold. On your inhale, feel the sitting bones, connection. Move crown and tailbone away from each other. And exhale, folding forward more deeply, belly against the spine, grounding the backs of the legs. And see again if you can open the fingers and feel the connection between the thumb and index finger, grounding it. Also really feeling the connection between the big and the second toe, stretching that. Slowly walking up and then coming to the front of the mat. Bring your feet onto the ground and slowly rolling down, one vertebra at a time. So now you have a couple of options. You can come into a half shoulder stand, Viparita Karani, full shoulder stand. If you feel this is not for you, and come into a block, a bolster, and then just rest your sacrum on it, bring your legs up. It's also an option. Otherwise, prepare for the half shoulder stand, Viparita Karani. So you again feel the forearms, hands, like the shoulders underneath you. Bringing knees into the chest and then slowly bringing the legs behind you. And if you're not very flexible, you can bend the knees and really reach for the lower back. Slide the shoulders in. Can keep the knees bent for the time being. And then move the hips a little bit away from you. Yes, so they're resting on your arms. And then move the legs towards you. Yeah, this would be like a half shoulder stand. You can stay here, feel again Ujjayi in the throat. And really pushing up through the balls of the feet. And also come into full shoulder stand. So you slide your hands further underneath you and really bring the feet, balls of the feet towards the ground. Keep some distance between the chest and the chin. Breathing deeply. Pull the belly against the spine. And then slowly you can come into halasana. Again, if you're not very flexible, you can bend your knees as you do this and keep the hands on the lower back. Otherwise, you can rest your feet on the ground, keep your hands where the lower back is. Again, take a couple of deep breaths like this, or you can also extend your arms, interlace the fingers, up to you, whatever feels good. Make sure your neck is not too strained. Breathing deeply. And then place your forearms on the ground, slowly rolling out there, acting as a break. So really grounding the hands, forearms, slowly rolling out. Placing the feet onto the mat and sliding back and stretching out legs. So place the left hand under the left buttocks, stretch out the left leg, and then the right hand under the right buttocks, palms facing down, thumbs touching, flex the feet, and then bringing your elbows towards each other under you, coming onto the elbows, looking at your feet. Your elbows are as close as possible, and we're coming into fish posture. And lift the chest, chin into chest, and you bring the back of the head on the ground and opening the chest wide. And you're really trying to carry the weight, most of the weight on your arms, elbows, not so much weight on the head. Breathing deeply, again in the back of the neck, into the throat, gentle ujjayi. And take a deep inhale. Lift the head, bring the chin towards the chest. And an exhale, coming out of the posture. Therefore, bring the back of the head down, feet on the ground, releasing your arms, and then sliding back. Bringing your knees into the chest. Breathing deeply for a moment. And then you gently come up over the side for a moment. And for a last shoulder stretch, you can either sit cross-legged or again, if you prefer, you can sit on a block and place the block between your heels. Sit on it, bring your arms out to the sides. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the right elbow on top of the left. Can either keep the right arm straight and the left arm bent, breathing into the shoulders, neck, throat, or you can wrap them around so the palms touch each other. Garudasana arms, so deeply breathe into the shoulders. Move your hands away from your face, move your elbows away from the chest, and at the same time pull the shoulder blades towards each other, breathing into them deeply. And if you want a little bit more, you can really open the chest, bringing your gaze up, opening the throat here. And an exhale, releasing the arms out to the sides. Inhale, bring the left elbow in front of the right, and you can again either just keep the right arm bent, left arm straight. If this is enough for you, for your shoulders, to see where you're at. Or you can wrap the hands around each other, arms around each other. Make sure you move the elbows away from the chest, hands away from the forehead, and then pull the shoulder blades into the back. So you have pull in opposite directions, also again gently pulling the belly and pelvic floor in and up at the end of the exhale. And then if you want a little bit more, you can bring the elbows up, opening the throat. Make sure your neck is okay, otherwise just keep looking straight and stay in the standard posture. And an exhale, release. Coming off the block, And then over the side, lying back down, feet onto the mat. Bring both knees over to the right, and then bring your right hand just below your left knee and your left arm diagonally up. And this time, head facing the same direction as the knees. You can bend the elbow of the left arm, ground your left shoulder, breathing deeply. Again, breathing into the neck, throat, relaxing the forehead and the breath, expanding the breath, more depth, more length. Inhale, come back to center, place the feet onto the mat in front of you, bring them over to the left. Left hand just below your right knee, right arm diagonally up, and again, looking in the direction of your knees, relaxing the neck and throat, breathing into it. Giving your breath more depth and length. Starting to release your breath and your throat. Relaxing the jaw. Coming back to center. If you have a hairband, you might want to take it out so you're not lying on an uncomfortable ponytail. And then just come into Shavasana, let your feet roll out. Palms facing the sky. Releasing the jaw one more time. And let your tongue rest on the lower palate to release your breath. And really accept the support of Mother Earth. Let Mother Earth carry you. Let your consciousness rest for a few moments. You can choose to have a longer Shavasana. Simply turn off the video and set a timer. 10 minutes. Minimum until your heart rate has slowed down. And otherwise, just stay with me for another few moments. Take a deep in and exhale. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, moving your hands and feet. Stretching out gently. Place one foot after the other onto the mat in front of you. And then with arms and knees bent, roll onto your favorite side into fetus posture. Staying here for a moment. And then slowly find your way back up into a comfortable seated posture. You can also sit on a block, on a bolster, blanket. Place one hand under your belly button, the other hand onto the heart center. Take a moment to feel gratitude. Think of something that you are thankful for in your life. Feel it as a smile on your face and in your whole body. And then think about someone you feel you have conflict with, some sort of disagreement. And then see if you can bring some forgiveness to the situation or some acceptance around it. Seeing maybe the situation from their perspective. And then we close with the last three on. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Going with that idea of forgiveness. Even if it's difficult for you to feel, maybe just initiating that process. Take a deep exhale. And inhale. Bow your head to your heart, thanking yourself for the attention you've given your body, mind, emotions. Making the time for this practice. I thank you very much for sharing. Namaste.